What you're seeing now is the procession is now coming in. The motorcycle unit is coming through. You can see the SWAT unit leading. The hearse will be coming. I'm just going to step out of the way and let this proceed. Obviously, you can see there's a number, all of these vehicles in the beginning, all Lorain police vehicles. The hearse has already gone past us, already heading into the tunnel underneath Rocket Arena. Multitude of Lorain police vehicles. Like I said, there were 130 officers who are attending this memorial service today. All of their lights in blue. A lot of people are wondering why police lights are in blue and red. The obvious reason, red always indicates emergency. Blue lights were added in the 60s and 70s because for a couple of reasons. One, they're easier to see in the daylight.
Monica, as we check right now.
Two, people with color blindness can see them.
Pardon me, Monica. Thank you for that insight. We just wanted to point out here, we were talking about the tunnel where the hearse and other vehicles are going in underneath Rocket Arena. This is what we were talking about right here. This is, again, right next to the arena. It's where the athletes park, dignitaries who go into the arena, and this was done, we were told, to give better access to police officers and the pallbearers to take the coffin, the body of Officer Wagner, inside the arena.
And Sergeant Vogler, you were talking to us a little minute ago, something I didn't know about the structure. You know, we may think that you said these are just cars, but there's a structure to how this is all happening, even to the speed at which it's happening.
So when a bunch of vehicles get on a freeway, it's kind of like a big accordion. So it's hard for one car to stay, tight towards the previous car. So most processions on the highway, they're not 100%. They're not in a rush. You know, it's a day for the family. It's a day for Lorain. They're not in a rush. And so normally on the highway, you'll see them go somewhere between 35 and 45. The motorcycles usually lead the way. SWAT was there. It makes sense because when you don't know who to call, you call the police, right? When we don't know who to call, we call SWAT. So SWAT's lead the road, and that's a big, heavy piece of equipment. It's going to take a little time for that piece of equipment to even get up to 45 miles an hour, right? But there's a lot of structure that's taking place. You don't realize it just because you see the procession. You see everybody on the side of the road, but there's a lot of dispatchers talking to each other, letting know where the procession is. One agency is just rolling from one agency to another, and their officers are talking to each other on the radio. We have what's called a Learn channel where they share traffic.
Everyone has their reason for an emotion today. We're talking about a person here, an avid gamer, a baseball and a hockey fan. This was a person that lost his life too soon. I think immediately of my daughters. I get a tear in my eye. I look over to you. When that procession came in behind Monica, what was your first reaction?
Well, this has been an emotional day for me as well. Don't be fooled, right? But when you see another officer coming to their final resting place, there's a lot that's going on emotionally with every officer that's there. We are human, and It's quite the toll when you see a brother or sister in blue finally being given their last respects, their last rights, if you will. So it's tough on all of us.
Dave, as you mentioned, of course, is a human being.
Yeah.
We're talking about it affects us all. Let's kind of give you, just kind of piggybacking on what you were saying there, Dave. Officer Phillip Wagner, 35 years old, from North Ridgeville, father of 3. He and his wife married for 10 years. A Marine veteran. And somebody pointed out to me last week, you were never an ex-Marine. You were always a Marine. So I'm sure there'll be a big Marine presence there.
There's only 3 types of Marines: a former Marine, an active Marine, and a dead Marine. There's no such thing as an ex-Marine. They don't. You'll offend a Marine pretty quick.
Of course.
If you call him an ex-Marine.
No such thing. I'm sure there'll be a large Marine presence there as well today. Dave, as you pointed out, he was a gamer, a baseball and a hockey fan. We pointed out the fact a few minutes ago that he had just received his SWAT pin, which was a big accomplishment for him 2 days before this happened. And you were saying, once again, this is being held at Rocket Mortgage Field House, and if you're just joining us, and we've talked about this stuff before, but it bears repeating. This is different from other police services we have seen. This is open to the public at a large venue, Rocket Arena. And you were saying, Sergeant Vogel, you think part of that is you think the outpouring of support from the community and others will be actually larger this time because of the way that Officer Wagner was killed.
Yeah, I mean, when a guy's just sitting in his cruiser eating his lunch, he's taking a break, he's with a colleague, and you have somebody with a rifle from a distance. It's a cowardly attack. It's a vicious attack with prior calculation. So that person put time into making sure that rifle was zeroed. He took time in loading the magazines. There was prior calculation that took place there, and this guy, all he was doing was just eating his lunch. So that drives home the very idea that this could happen to any one of us and that we have to stand in solidarity. And so I think you're going to see a larger response from the law enforcement community locally and beyond. And that's probably why they're using the arena there.